Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to episode 349 of Geek Syndicate, where we do what? We bring the sass back to geekdom. I am Monts, and with me as always is...
Nuge, I'm
Nuge.
only human after all. Don't put the blame on me.
What is that?
Don't put the blame on... It's Rag and Bone Man.
Why are you singing Rag and Bone Man?
Because we were watching MasterChef earlier and I kept singing it and it was annoying to see. And what I'm hoping is in years to come, when I've kind of passed away and to down one day tearfully to listen back to like all these episodes to remind herself of the husband and the, you know.
Yeah, got it.
She hears me singing Rag and Bone Man and she's like, what the hell?
That's a long-ass plan you got there, man.
It's called playing the long game, man.
And also, I've got to say, it's for very little payoff.
Yeah, you say that.
All right. I like that kind of forward thinking, you know. It's something I'm trying to do more of in my life. So, yeah.
What thinking?
All right, thank you. Hey, ease up. Yeah. Nah. So I just got a bit of news. I'm just going to come straight out with it.
Go on then.
Computer game launched this week, as we're recording this, called Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened. It's a remake of an old game, and it's and I don't know how many times I've talked about it to you anyway, about the amount of computer games I've been doing that I can't talk about. This is the first one I could talk about. It's the first one that my voice is in that's been released, and I'm just chuffed. That's all.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Yeah,
and good voice work.
Thanks. Yeah. So yeah, just get the game to see me play a wall or well, it's a statue really, but it looks like it's part of a wall.
I mean, with that kind of recommendation, I'm gonna rush straight out after this and hit Amazon. Run out and buy that AAA title where Dave plays a wall.
No, I'll tell you what though, my possessed man is inspired.
No, your possessed man's good, man. He's good. I have to say, there's a dude. You play a brother in there as well. With a bowler hat. And honestly, this is nepotism, but honestly, when it came on, I was like, "Hey, it looks a bit like me." And then you started talking, and I was like, "What's going on?"
You know what? I thought that as well.
Oh, good. I'm glad it weren't just me. Then.
I thought it looks a bit like Barry.
I was like, "Why did you do? Why?"
Have I spent 20 years as profession to end up playing Barry?
To be fair, it takes 20 years to kind of get me down. But like, I had so many questions when you sent me the clip, and I was like, I've got so many. I didn't like Raid on Your Parade by sort of going like, because it was good, but I was kind of like, but that guy looks like me, and Dave's doing his voice. I don't know what's going on. Should I be happy? I don't know. I have questions. Anywho, that's not what people are here for.
No.
No, yeah, well done, man. This what I've got to add on to that as we move into shout outs. I want to give a shout out to all our patrons. So I'm going to do this. So Lee, Brandon, Peter, Eric, Charlie, Matt, Dion, Kim, Mark, Darren, and Nick.
I actually choked up a little bit as you were reading out those names. I feel like we should have had some epic music underscore in it.
Yeah, I'll stick the throne music from Star Wars and then wait for Lucasfilm to descend on us with a cease and desist.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, no, we really do appreciate it because it does go to kind of covering off like podcasting fees and such not. So it is appreciated. And obviously, if you want to become a patron, then patreon.com, Geek Syndicate, join up. We don't really do anything on Patreon. We used to put the occasional thing on there.
Yeah, we did.
And people sort of said they weren't bothered either way. But I do feel like maybe we should put some stuff on there. So we might have a bit of a chat about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And shout out to Short Round, Ki Hu Kwan.
Ah, my boy.
Oscar winner.
Yeah.
I'm so chuffed for that guy, man. So chuffed. I've still not seen the film.
Oh, I can't. I am so all over that film. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I want because and the thing is as well, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime, so I keep meaning to
I
sort of
mean,
watch it.
get your. You got to get your head ready for that one because
I think
it's just nuts. I mean, I laughed out loud. I cried, and I sat with my mouth open in other points, going, "What the hell?" So yeah, it's like that.
that's what it is. I think because I know, um, because people keep telling me, "Oh, you got to prepare yourself for it." I think that's probably part of the reason why I haven't got around to watching it yet.
Yeah, well, you know what? Take your time because what I've noticed is if I run into stuff like that, um, then it's never the same. I kind of have to wait until the hubbub has died
The fuss
down.
dies down. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I've still not seen June.
No, me neither.
Okay, I don't feel too bad about that.
Now, I told myself I was going to read the book first because it's the only book that, as a teenager and young adult, I started twice and never finished. The only book. And whenever I say that, it's one of those ones that you say that and people give you that look as if to say, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I didn't even start June.
Yeah.
You know what? They should adapt. Do you remember back in this is when we were kids, man? Back in the day, I don't know if other people remember these books, man. But they're the Amtrak. Was it the Amtrak Wars?
I'm looking. You know what? I've gone off mic now because I've turned to look at them. I've got them. They were incredible. I don't remember them very well. I just remember the
No.
time going, these are, I mean, I've got it on my shelf. And my problem is people keep bringing out new books and I'm looking at these books that I want to reread because in my memory, they were great. But, whether they'll still be great, I don't know. But
Yeah,
but I remember it was epic, man.
it was epic. Yeah.
I can't remember if it was ever finished.
No, neither can I actually. But I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was
Who was
talking
it
to someone
by?
about The Expanse, and I was thinking, yeah, Amtrak Wars, man, that would make for a good adaptation.
Patrick Tilley, they were by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cloud Warrior, First Family, Iron Master, Blood River, Deathbringer, and Earth Thunder.
Yeah, yeah. They're quality, man. Like you said, I don't remember anything about them other than the fact I remember really enjoying them.
Yeah.
Right, so we could spend the next like 40 minutes shooting the shit about stuff like that, but like we got Weed That Was and we got a main. I don't even think we got time for news, man.
No. Let's go. So let's just jump straight into the week that was.
Mate,
Enough. I'm just gonna start this off by saying yesterday I watched the last couple episodes of Bad Batch and the most recent episode of The Mandalorian on the same day, and my head was blown.
When you say the most, as in what, this week's episode?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot, man.
That's a lot. Because I gotta say, Bad Batch. I had a lump in my throat. It's so good because I was after the first season was all right, but it was all right because in the Bad Batch were in whatever they were in Clone Wars,
Yeah,
and they were awesome in there. When they got their own series, it was good, but it kind of felt like it lost focus. So the second season came up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And it was all right. It started good, got a tiny little bit slower in the middle. But I look back and I go, actually, I don't feel like that was wasted time. And then the last 4 or 5, it was
on
like,
it.
wow.
Yeah, it was on it, man.
Wow. And then the Mandalorian. So here's number 1 in my list of really bad ideas. You ready?
Yeah.
So we're sitting around and go, oh, look at that little group of Mandalorians. Let's go take them on. No, Jerry, I'm not going.
Sit your black ass down.
Exactly.
Do you know what it is, right? Do you know what it is? So this is a story, right? Which once knows, yeah. This sums up the Mandalorian, right? So when we were kids or teenagers, right? We were on a bus. Remember this?
This is a clawhammer story, isn't it?
Yeah, we were on a bus, which is probably the armourer, and it must have been about 6 of us.
Yeah.
And there was
Big Trevor.
Yeah, and Big Trevor. Yeah, Big Trevor Knight was a big dude, and there was a guy on the bus who was just causing ruckus, and then I think one of us just told him to like shut up or like just chill out or something, and then all of a sudden,
My man dipped it to his bag.
No, he threw something first. He threw something past our heads, and then we all got up to sort of go, nah, that's not happening. And then he literally, like you said, he reached into his bag and pulled, and we didn't even see what it was. We reckoned it was a hammer. And everyone just sat back down. Because when you saw the confidence in the man's face, he weren't phased by 6 of us. And like I said, okay, me and you ain't say big guys, but Trev and a couple of other guys are big dudes. And he weren't phased.
And people in TV shows never show that kind of common sense.
No. And I think what was funny was someone was like, there's 6 of us. If we rush him, one of us can take him or something. And that's when someone just went, sit your black ass down. So, about rush him. Sit down. Do you know what I mean?
Because what no one ever tells you that in the rushing, someone's going to get hurt.
Someone's getting hurt.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that whole scenario I just laid out sums up in us, the stormtroopers, and that dude being the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I mean,
got to take out those Mandalorians. No.
Nope.
Nope. I'm just gonna sit my black ass down.
No, nope.
And they just look so damn cool, man.
Yeah, it's just, and the way that they fight, the way they've been choreographed, the way they work with the grappling hooks and the jetpacks is probably some of the most inventive use of like jetpacks I've seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What
was interesting was that we were, like I said that we got annoyed with the kids and just went and decided to have dinner on our own and watch The Mandalorian. And then Kira, my 7-year-old, wandered in and watched it. And at the end of it, she was like, I love it. She wants to watch it all from the beginning. So last night, we watched the first 3 episodes. She goes, can we watch the next one? And she gets really scared. I had to take her for a blood test and she freaked and we didn't get it done. So we had to book another one for like a month away. And I was like, Kira, we can't do this. And after we watched this, I went, okay, Kira, we go in there. And when you feel the nerves, I'm going to look at you. I'm going to say, this is the way. And you're going to look at me and say, this is the way. And we're going to do it. Is that good? She went, yeah, that's a really good idea. I was like, yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way. So, yeah. No, I can't with this show. There's one left. I can't believe. I'm like,
The thing is, right, and I'm going to come on and mention another show, a couple of shows in a minute. Honestly, what a time, man. What a time to be a geek. And the thing is, you got people arguing and cussing about Lucasfilm and cussing about Marvel and how, like, the latest phase of Marvel, I don't even know what phase we're in at the moment. Phase 5, orange phase, I don't know. But, you know, people cussing saying this phase ain't that good and Lucasfilm would drop the ball with Star Wars and all this sort of stuff. And my thing is like, what a time to be a geek that we can actually have those arguments.
Yeah.
Where there's just so much out there. Comics, books, games, films, TV, everything you want is there.
My only downside is that I want it all and there's not enough time. And the other thing, I suddenly realised one day I'm going to die and there's going to be stories I won't hear the end of. And that makes me sad.
Honestly, Monts, right? 2 things which upset me. One, because, you know, it's the anniversary of my oldest brother's passing last week, which is a sad time. But every time it makes me sad that he never saw Avengers Endgame. I don't even know if he even saw Avengers.
Was that before that?
Yeah, it was before that.
That's tragic, man.
And given that Dave was the Marvel fan in the house and used to get the comics and him and Danny would get the comics and stuff. Gutted. And he loved them films, do you know what I mean? Gutted for him. So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2, honestly, every day I wake up at the moment and I thank whatever celestial being, nature, chi, whatever, that I'm one day closer to Indiana Jones 5.
Right. So I don't know if you remember me talking about DC animated universe here.
Oh yeah.
And they had one called Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which kind of closed off that universe.
Yeah.
And sort of brought that to an end so they could start their next whatever. And it was amazing. It was so good. It was harsh. Man, I can't even. But then as a little coda to that, as a little epilogue, they brought out a movie called Constantine, House of Mystery. But it turns out it's just a short. It was like 20 minutes.
Okay.
But what you got with it, you also got Commandy, the Last Boy on Earth, which is an old school comic, The Losers, and Blue Beetle. They're all old school comics. And I just want to touch on all of them really briefly because this actually I just looked on Amazon. This Blu-ray is $6.99. Yeah, it's nothing, and it's worth your Constantine House of Mystery. It's the harshest DC animation I've seen.
Wow.
It's I can't even, man. You know, one of them things where it finishes and you're just exhausted because it was so hard to watch.
Yeah, I'm still listening. Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say anything without spoiling it.
Okay.
It's worth a watch, but you just go, oh, this again. Are we going to get poor? You know, Constantine's a bit of a bastard.
Yeah.
But you're watching this, you're going, oh, poor Jod.
Wow.
It's like that. And then they got Commandy the Last Boy, which is just end of the world pulp action fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's just nuts. You know, I mean, in the end, you know, the hero rides off on a giant mutant grasshopper into the sunset at the end. I mean, it's like... It's like, you know, they're captured by the monkey tribe and they have to undergo the trials to get that which is worthy. You know, it was just great. It was just great, you know, because it's set in the far future after some atomic war, which has caused all the creatures to mutate. So they're intelligent and there's no humans left apart from Commandy. That's why Commandy is the last boy. But he and his grandfather were stuck in some bunker called Command D, which is where he got his name from. So,
okay.
So that's the setup. And then you got Blue Beetle, which you've got to watch because it's got the question in it. And they filmed it in the old school Spider-Man cartoon style.
Oh, cool.
So when things go wrong on purpose, like there's points where the sound goes out of sync with the characters, and they've done that on purpose, yeah. And the colouring goes off and stuff. And the question's got some lines in it, man. And I mean, I've watched it like four or five times now because it's just killing me every time. And then, dude, you've got The Losers, which is based on a team of World War II squadron. And it's a bit there, and it starts off. They're in a storm, yeah. And there's one of them is like kind of doing the boat, and he looks mean because he's concentrating hard on steering that boat, and he just looks to the side, and it freezes like old school Hawaii 5-0. It used to
see, I'm
and it freezes, and it just comes up, Captain Storm. And then there's the next one, Johnny Cloud, and then there's some black guy's got Mile a Minute Jones.
Oh my days! Sorry, did you just Mile a Minute Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, bad. Right.
I mean, listen, that DVD is that Blu-ray is $6.99. I'm just saying it's well worth your money, bro.
Yeah, no, that's getting rinsed, man.
It's well worth your money. So if you buy that and think it wasn't worth your money, I will give you your money back. No joke. No jokes. No messing around. I will deposit it straight into your account, man.
Wow. That you know, you had me at Captain Storm and then you just finished it off, man. With
Mile a Minute Jones.
Mile a Minute Jones. That's just.
And then you've got Gunner and Sarge. Do you know what I mean? It's just...
That's just quality.
Mad.
So very quickly, shall we go straight on to Star Wars?
Let's talk all things Star Wars.
I was just about to hum the friend room music, and I suddenly realized I couldn't remember Eddie. I couldn't remember how that went. I couldn't remember Star Wars. Nothing.
See, but I think it's my go-to theme now is as the Mandalorian, and one thing I praise it for is it's one of the most memorable themes in many a year.
It's just, and it's like one of the few shows as well. It's like when it gets to the credits, I just settle in, man.
Yep. Yep.
Settling for
Yep.
them credits and them art, the spectacular art, man.
Spectacular art. Oh, yeah. Love it. Love it.
So this week, if you're a Star Wars fan, you would have known that they were having Star Wars Celebration, which is like a massive convention which they have every year. And this year it was at the Excel Centre,
Oh, I wish I
which
could have gone, man.
yeah, me and you went to not that long after we started doing GS. We went to it, and it was amazing. It's still one of my geek high points was watching Star Wars, and they had it on a massive screen outside.
Mm.
And we were just sitting. It was sunny, and it got. I think it got introduced by the guy who plays the Emperor. Came on with like a load of Stormtrooper and introduced it and stuff, and it was just it was a cracking weekend. But anyway, yeah. So that was going on last weekend as we record, and loads of stuff came out, trailers, announcements, all sorts. So Dave doesn't know too much about. You still don't know too much about what's gone on, do you?
Yeah, for some reason. I mean, I'm interested and I've seen little bits and headlines, but I haven't really been paying too much attention for some reason. So this works out quite well.
Yeah. Cool. So what I'm going to do is briefly go through some of them and then we can have a bit of a chat about what your thoughts are. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So first up, so they've been focusing a lot on Star Wars TV shows, but apparently there's still 3 films in the works. So one which is going to be called is codenamed Star Wars Zero.
Okay.
It's going to be set thousands of years before the Skywalker saga.
Oh, nice.
It's expected to explore the dawn of the Jedi era, setting the foundations for all Force conflicts that happen in the galaxy for more than 25,000 years.
And I'm already in.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah, it's been the director is James Mangold, who's done Indiana Jones 5.
Okay, all right.
I also think he did Logan.
All right. I tell you what I'm in. I tell you what gets me is that, you know, we've been really fixated on the Skywalker saga and all of that. And I'm not, you know, I haven't really got into the expanded universe stuff in a big way at all, but I'm aware of so much.
Yeah.
And the whole Skywalker saga, this is just one tiny point in a long history and a long future.
Yeah.
So, you know, knowing that there's equally important bits out there and actually exploring the beginning of that, yeah, all good with that.
Yeah, I'm quite fascinated by how they tackle it, actually. So I quite like the idea of that and like the first Jedi and the first Sith and whatever. So that's that. So this is the one I'm quite excited about. So Dave Filoni, who we know who's been just ruling it with the animation stuff, and obviously he's one of the driving forces behind the Mandalorian, I believe.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan, and the upcoming Ahsoka series. He's going to be directing a film set in the New Republic period. And so this apparently will tie into the Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
Okay.
And probably everything else. I think what I read somewhere is that it's gonna tie into everything he's done as a kind of way to sort of close it all off. And it's saying like that explores the dangers of the Imperial remnants after the fall of Darth Sidious. Yeah.
I like the idea. I'll tell you the only thing that gives me pause for thought is it's starting to feel like, especially with that one, you've got to know so much. You've got to have watched all the cartoons and watched all the stuff and whatever. And like since watching The Mandalorian, like my kids go, "Oh, what's the Bad Batch? What's this? What's that?" And I said, "Well, there's the Clone Wars." And I looked at it and was like, "Can't be bothered to watch all of that." You know what I mean? And I'm just wondering how dependent it's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he has been pretty good, I have to say, because when you look at like the Mandalorian and stuff, for some of the stuff that's gone in this season, yes, you've had characters from these animated stuff in there. You've had Ahsoka in there and Bo-Katan and stuff, but I don't think you needed to have watched those shows. Yes, it would have given you a fuller understanding, but in the context of how they're being used, I think they're still okay. Do you know what I mean? But I get what you mean. I do get what you mean. And I suppose it's easy for me to say because I've watched those shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you, I mean, my other thing at the moment, and this is just me, is so watching Mandalorian, watching Bad Batch, because my girls wanted a bit of background. We actually watched the original Star Wars movie together for the first time.
Right.
My brain is losing track of what's happening of the timeline.
Yeah.
I can't keep hold. I'm like, yeah, New Republic. Hold on, which one's that again?
Yeah. I'm the same, because I think the other day I was thinking, oh no, the Mandalorian set after Return of the Jedi. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah, I'm quite excited about that, mainly for Dave Filoni as well, because he knows his stuff, man. So that's that one. And actually, because I've mentioned Ahsoka, Tales of the Jedi.
I loved season 1 was awesome.
Yeah, they've confirmed a second season for that.
I'd hoped for something different than what it was, but what I got, I loved.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what they do with the second season. Are they going to follow with the same 2 characters, or maybe they're going to focus in on 2 other characters? That'd be quite interesting. And they dropped the trailer for Ahsoka. Have you seen the trailer?
No, because I'm going to see it anyway.
True that. I know I know you're not a trailer man, but I had to ask anyway.
Is that series or?
This is live action, a series.
Series, yeah. Cool.
Mate.
Really? Okay. All right.
Because you're not going to watch a trailer, I don't want to it's difficult because there's some stuff I want to touch you about, but put it this way, if you're a fan of Star Wars, if you are a fan of Star Wars Rebels, which I know you are, mate.
All right. Now you go. Okay. All right then.
I watched that trailer with my mouth open because I couldn't believe they went there. With a couple of things, I'm like, I can't believe you've gone there. And especially after watching the latest Mando, certain things are like tying in directly. Do you know what I mean? You can see they're setting it up now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially around one particular character who gets mentioned.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I realised, the way I don't want to spoil it for people, but then I remember the way that Star Wars Rebels ended, and then I remember reading a particular book series which was set after Return of the Jedi, which is the one everyone kind of talks about, which is the Timothy Zahn books.
Mm-hmm.
He did 3 of those, and realizing that's kind of where he was pushing stuff with Rebels. But anyway, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. So next up, this is the one I was quite shocked by this. Maybe not for the reason people think, but so Daisy Ridley is coming back to play Rey. You still there?
Yeah, I'm just taking a moment.
Yeah.
To compose myself, to find my way into processing what you've just told me.
Well, whilst you're processing, I'll give you a bit more info, shall I?
Yeah, go.
So, so this is a movie. It's going to be set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. She's now a Jedi Master who's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. That's pretty much... Yeah, that's pretty much all we know.
So, wait. Say that again. I need to... I don't think I took that in.
You're still in the shock bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it's set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. The movie will follow Jedi... so she's a Jedi Master trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. That's pretty much all we know.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Thoughts?
This may be a great film, and it may be a great way to continue that story. Number one, slightly done with this bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, to me, it compounds the insult that was what you promised me with John Boyega.
Yes.
Because, to recap, go back and look at the marketing for whatever that first film was called, of the new films. And they promised you, you know what I mean? They promised me a lot. And then they turned John Boyega's character into a Jedi caddy.
Yeah.
And then that second film, I don't know what he was doing.
I don't think even he knew what he was doing.
I don't think the writers knew what he was doing. And then the third one, they tried to bring it back, which was, good effort, but too little, too late. And then it's like, and this one go, right, Daisy Ridley's coming back. There's no sign of John or any analogous character. It's just like going, yeah. No, we wanted to do some diversity, but yeah, not really. And it just feels to me it just feels like a bit of a slap in the face.
Or maybe they went and asked John Berger. He's like, "Not your life, man. I'm
Which I
out."
could see,
I could see that. Do you
and
know what I mean?
I wouldn't blame him. Do you know what I mean?
The sad thing is, I think I don't want to spend too much time on drama because we have talked about it, and it just gets me down. But I think when you watch shows like The Bad Batch and Clone Wars, which focus on clone troopers or troopers, do you know what I mean?
Mm.
You begin to understand what a wasted opportunity his character was.
Yeah.
Such just wasted.
You got the thing is, you had so much there. It was like, yeah, let's focus on Rey. Yeah.
I don't even have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, Monts. Right?
I wouldn't have a problem with that if that's not what you promised. That's not what you promised me with the marketing.
Yeah, there was enough. The thing is, right? If you're going for a teaming song, but there was enough. There was enough for everyone.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Star Wars isn't Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That original trilogy isn't Luke Skywalker. Yes, that's one of the bigger narrative threads you follow through, and but you know what I mean? If you like your smuggler stuff, you like your Han Solo stuff, there's enough there for you. If you like your Princess Leia stuff, there's enough there for you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But like, I just felt, yeah, he just got shortchanged, man. But anyway, on to this. So putting on my positive hat, honestly, after the 180 that Picard did, I'm willing to give anything a go now.
Yeah, no,
if it's in the right hands.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. I just my gut reaction was one of just utter disappointment and sadness.
Because I don't know. I feel like there was more story for him than in some ways for her, or both of them. I don't know because they're obviously trying to hint at that he had abilities.
Yeah,
you know, which was the original plan, which just got sidelined. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really that interested, to be honest. And I think I'm not. And it isn't even. Yeah, we've got the reasons we've just discussed, but also I'm a bit with you in that I'm a bit done with like Skywalker stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I could be made to eat my words, and I live for that day.
I'd quite like, you've got one film where you've gone right back. I'd like one where you go right forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching so many things where we're jumping all over the timeline anyway. Let's just
and I think some of it is is that we've got some great. There's great Star Wars stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's great Star Wars shows. If you like animated stuff, I think the Star Wars animated stuff's kicking it.
Yeah.
But my problem with most of it, same like they've announced that Andor's got season 2, loved first season of Andor. But my problem with all of these things is we know where the story goes.
Yeah.
All of them with Andor. We know how his story ends. Do you know what I mean? With the Bad Batch, we know where that story goes. With the Clone Wars, we know how it ends. And all of that's not taken away from those shows. They're all fantastic. But I'd like to see something where I'm like, I don't know where this is going to end up.
Yeah. Exactly that.
And I think that first one that we talked about, the dawn of like the Force and stuff, it's kind of like, I've got 25,000 years before I need to worry about Luke Skywalker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a lot of ground. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that. So there's that anyway. So then we've got Jude Law's Skeleton Crew, which is basically
what?
Yeah, I know. It's just come out of nowhere apparently. So this is an upcoming.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of Jude Law, but go on.
Yeah, the picture's not selling it to me. To be fair, but it's an upcoming series starring Jude Law as the Jedi leader of a band of young misfits roaming through the galaxy. Skeleton Crew is going hard on 1980s family adventure aesthetics and promises to be the Star Wars version of the Goonies. See, I'm interested.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do with that comparison, but it's not one which makes me go, yeah. It makes me go, oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder when it's going to be set. as well.
That's what I was wondering. That was my next question.
Yeah, that I wonder when it's going to be set. Because I tell you what, man, when you got Benny Yoda dropping and last of the Jedi you will be, well, that's not strictly true, is it? Looks like it's about 200. Looks like it's about 200 of them running about. Do you know what I mean?
I know. And the thing is, I always knew there was a few that had kind of escaped and gone their way and stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
there's a lot, man.
There's a lot of them out there.
So when he said, like, you know,
apart from you,
yeah,
you,
Darth Vader hunted down and extinguished the last of the Jedi. Did he though? Because that's some sloppy work, Darth, man.
Isn't it?
That's sloppy, man. And then we've got the Acolyte, which is set 100 years before the prequel trilogy, which is set during the High Republic era. The Acolyte will explore the conflict between the dark and the light side of the Force in the period of apparent peace and stability. I'm sure I heard it said that it's kind of going to be more from the viewpoint of the Sith. I think that's what I heard, which is, again, quite interested. And 100 years before, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I can get behind that one.
I'll get behind that one.
Yeah. Which again is like, I'm looking, going, yeah, you got one going back, you got one going further back. Let's have one going right forward. Let's see what that galaxy far, far away is like. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. Yeah, I would be in. Yeah, we're almost like Luke and all that. They're just legends now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just were they even real? Do you know
were they even real? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like we kind of got glimpses of that with the very first sequel trilogy, where it was that whole thing where it was kind of like, you know, they were talking about them like they didn't exist anymore. So, so we've also, lastly, we've got Star Wars Visions, which I didn't see the first season of this. I still haven't seen it.
What's
where season 1, I think, was all done from kind of like Japanese anime.
Oh, I love it.
Have you seen it?
I have. It's brilliant. I mean, it's an anthology. So, as with all anthologies, some are going to be great, some are going to be rubbish, some are going to be good, but just not for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there was 9 episodes, and some of them were the artwork was incredible, storytelling was great, and it's set all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So some of them got absolutely nothing to do with current storylines and stuff. They're just
okay.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Well, they put out a trailer for season 2, and it looks like because I think they're using different studios, so there's lots of different types of animation. One of them looks like it's Aardman.
Nice.
Because someone we know, she's involved with it.
Who's that?
Danny Abram.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Danny Abram. Yeah.
No, I love an anthology format. I really do. So I'm all over that one. You may notice that's the one I'm most excited about.
I know. I was going to say, yeah. So yeah, and I think that's it. And the thing that I was most excited, it wasn't Star Wars, but it was just something else that they did. They released a new trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I mean, you know.
Yeah. How's it feeling?
Feeling good, man. I'm excited about it. But I was excited about the last one, and I enjoyed the last one. I don't give a damn what anyone says. Don't care. But this looks money.
Right, okay.
This looks good. So I'm interested. But I feel I feel good about this one, man.
Okay. Right. Yeah. That's good.
Also, go watch Shrinking Kids, which is basically Harrison Ford does Indiana Jones, the comedy series.
What's it called?
Shrinking on Apple Plus. It's quality, man. He's a like a therapist in it.
Okay.
He's got the guy from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
Marshall.
Yeah. Jason Segel.
Yeah. It's a cracker.
Okay, I saw trailers for that, so
yeah. No, it's worth a watch, man. It's got a kind of. Did you watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a Ted Lasso feel to it. So
cool. On it. Good to know. I just add another one to my ever.
I know, man. I know. Started as we begin was just so much. I looked at my list of things that we haven't talked about, some of which because I forgot to press record, so we lost some of it. But we'll come back to some of these ones. I'm just gonna, Silver in the Bone, Blood and Treasure season 2, Night Agent, Luther Fallen Sun, Lockwood and Co, Vox Machina, Troll. My list just goes on and on, man.
Oh man, don't it just?
Next episode, people. Next episode.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think of the Star Wars stuff overall?
I suppose the other thing I didn't think was, what's the time? What's the schedule for all of these coming out? There's a fair few things there. It's starting to feel a bit marvelly in terms of our next phase is blah, blah, blah.
But that's what everyone's aiming for, though, now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's on that tip. Oh, what they also announced was the Bad Batch got renewed for a third season, but it's going to be its final season.
After that ending, it blooming needed to get renewed.
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm glad it's got a final season as well.
Yeah. It's good that it has an ending rather than just a continual.
But I tell you what, though, after the end of season 2, I shudder to think what season 3 is going to be like.
I didn't see some of that. I just didn't see some of it happening.
No, I didn't, man.
I was like, wow, all right. All right, so people, you know the score. Let me know. Let us know what Star Wars stuff you're excited for. You got the reaction from me and B. So just let us know, and you know how to do it. Just go to email us at geeksyndicate.co.uk or find us on social media. We are all over not Star Wars. What do you call it? We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Come find us. Tell us what you think of the new Star Wars offering. See if you match up, or tell us if we're talking nonsense. Let us know. And until next time, Geek Syndicate, we out.